All right, we have Lukey, and this is his week 1 recap. Wow, Bubba, what do you have? What's that toy? So starting off training this week, we wanted to start with some toy play. We want to make sure that we're keeping training fun for these little puppies. They're still very young, so we want to make sure that we're breaking up our training sessions with some toy play in between. So you'll see that I work on maybe 2-3 behaviors, and then I'll try to get the toy out, see if they want to engage in some play. Right now I'm using what's called a flirt pole. Really nice toy, especially if you have kids. My hands get to stay up at the end of the pole. They're not down where that toy is, where he's currently chomping away. So my hands are staying away from the bitey end. Good boy. And then once I feel that Lukey has that toy in his mouth, I am just giving some slight opposite pressure. I don't want to tug it too hard. He doesn't have a super strong grip just yet, and I want to make sure that this is fun for him. So I want to make sure that he's winning. So just some gentle tugs, opposite, to really get him into wanting to chew that a little bit more. Good boy. Thank you. And then whenever he lets go, I will just take that opportunity. That's when I win. And we put the toy away and we do some work. All right. So first thing we need to introduce to the puppies this week is what's called our reward marker. Now for that, I'm using a clicker. I need to charge my reward marker so that my dog starts to learn that that click means I'm gonna get food. Good boy. Now what is the purpose of the reward marker? We're gonna use that to capture the moment that our puppies offer us the behavior that we asked for. Now he's in a very nice sit right now, but that is the picture of a sit. So if I were to ask him to get into this position, that is what I would click, and that's what I'm gonna feed. Okay. Now when you're charging your clicker, you don't have to click anything specific. I would just make sure we're not clicking anything negative. So if he tries to jump up on you, don't click that. If he's whining or barking, don't click that. Good boy. And then the reward marker is a promise. So I'm promising you, I'm guaranteeing that you're gonna get food. So even in the beginning, if you accidentally click, okay, I would make sure you're still paying him out. Give him that food. The next thing I want to work on is charging my release word. Okay. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to show Lukey that I have food. Okay. And toss that food in one direction. With this, I do not have to use my clicker. Okay. Just getting him used to following that food in different points. Because when you release him from different positions, you might release him in different directions. And then we're also teaching him when it's okay for him to get up and be done. Okay. Yeah, good boy. This week, not tossing that cookie too far. We really need to also teach him what that means and how to go find that piece of food. Good boy, Bubba. Next thing I want to work on is going to be him following a food lure. Very good boy. So the way that I'm going to hold the food for that, I have kibble in my hand. I'm going to cover that food with my thumb. This way I can really turn my hand in whatever direction and I'm not going to drop food. He's going to be attached to this food, and then when I'm ready for him to eat it, I'll just remove my thumb and let him have a piece of that food. So showing Lukey that I have the food. He's licking it, he wants it, so I know he's attached. Then I'm gonna take a few steps. Good boy. I have another piece in my hand, so immediately attaching him to another piece and taking another few steps. Wow, good boy. And then just practicing that paired with his name to work on that name recognition. Lukey. Lukey. Goodest boy. Lukey. Nice. What a boy. Okay. All right, so that was 3 different behaviors: charging the clicker, charging our release word, and following a food lure. So now I'll get my toy back out, see if he wants to engage in some play, which sometimes at this point they're like, no, I know you have food and I'm ready to work for that food. But I'll give it a few seconds. Yes, good boy. Yeah, what a good job. Oh, I tugged it too far. Good boy. You're chewing on the string, not the toy. What is, Bubba? Oh, good job. Good job. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, we'll get back into it. All right, the next thing I want to do with him is play another game called the Flying Cookie Game. So this is another name recognition game. I'm going to toss the cookie. Okay. Lukey! And as soon as he's done eating, I want to call his name. The moment I'm clicking is when he turns towards me after I've called his name. Okay. Lukey! Good. Key factors, make sure he's done eating. So you see he's at that food, he's still chewing. Wait to call his name until after he's done eating. Okay. Lukey. Very good boy. Those cookies went so far and you did so well with that. All right, next thing I want to work on with him is going to be our hand targets, what in the future we might call touch. I'm going to hold that food the same way I did for that food lure. So flat palm, thumb is over the cookie. Come here, let's go more in the camera. So I'm going to attach him to that food, make sure he wants it, and then I'm going to pull my hand away. Touch. Good. As soon as I feel that nose re-engage with my hand, that is what I want to click and feed. So he's attached to this food. Touch. Good boy. Make sure you practice that with both hands. If you don't, you might find that he's going to blow that other hand off in the future when you ask. Touch. Very good job. So hand targets, why might we use them? I like them as somewhat of an informal recall. Touch. Good boy. So Lukey's across the room, getting into something he maybe shouldn't. He doesn't know a formal recall word yet, so I'm going to ask him for a hand target. Hopefully we've practiced that enough that he knows when he hears that, he's got to drive in and hit his nose against your hand. I also like it as a focus and engagement exercise. So if we're going to go somewhere new, I'm going to get Lukey out of the car, and then I'm going to ask him for a few hand targets to get his focus and attention on me before we go into whatever we're about to do. What's his toy, mister? What's his toy? Yeah. Oh, good boy. You're chewing the wrong part. All right, continuing on. The next thing I want to work on with him is going to be our sits. Very good boy. So teaching the dogs to get into a sit, I want to have at least 4 pieces of food ready in my hand because we're going to teach a sit, but with duration. So teaching him that he needs to stay in this nice position until I tell you, okay, you're good to go. So to do that, let's get out of the position first. Food starts at nose level, and I want to come up and back. Sit. Good. Take the food away, then come back in with another piece for the duration. Oops. It's okay. We're learning. Yeah. Okay. He scooted forward to follow that food hand. I cued it with an oops, got him back in position, and then continued with what we were working on. So if they break position at this stage, again, okay, it's okay, they're learning. Just get them back into position and try not to feed them right away. Let's get you out of that sit, sir. Good boy. Yeah. And just watch those paws. So his paws come up a little bit. Okay. So I would try to avoid clicking when the paws are up. If you accidentally click when the paws are in the air, just wait for those paws to go back on the ground before he gets his food. All right, sir. Sit. Your paws come up because you want the food so bad. Yeah, good boy. Okay. He got up again during that sit, and that just tells me I'm too slow. I'm moving too slow. My follow-up cookies need to come in a little bit faster at this stage. So that's on me. I just need to feed him those follow-up cookies a little bit quicker to keep him in that sticky sit. And then next week, we can slow down how quickly those follow-up cookies come in. All right, Bubs. The next thing we're gonna work on is gonna be what we call our magic mat. So the mat for this week, step 1, I'm gonna toss the mat down. My goal is that he comes over, gets 4 paws on. As soon as I have 4 paws, that's what I'm clicking and feeding. And then I'm gonna come in with a follow-up cookie for that duration. So duration, him staying on that mat. And then a final cookie to release him from the mat. Then I wanna pick my mat up, move it somewhere else, and build that drive of him wanting to come into this mat wherever it is. So I want to have 4 pieces of food ready. I'm going to toss that mat down. Good. 4 paws on, click and feed. I do not have to click my follow-up cookies. If he were to say put himself in a sit or a down, I would click that. But you don't have to necessarily click the follow-ups. Okay, good boy. So toss that cookie to get him off the mat, and then move your mat somewhere else. Good boy. Yeah, such a good, brave boy. Okay. All right, so the mat is the first step to your stationary behaviors. Super, super important behavior in my opinion. Teaching the dog how to settle nicely and having a safe place for them to go. Let's say when you have company come over, they station on the mat as the company comes in, or you guys are eating dinner. He's gonna station on that mat while you guys eat. Good. If you guys go out a lot of places and you want to bring him with you, the mat is a really nice one for him to station on the mat as you guys are potentially watching a soccer game or having a cup of coffee. This is a really important one to teach. Oh, I thought you were gonna sit. Okay. Good job, Bob. All right. Whoa, whoa. Let's try the toy one more time. Okay. He's a good boy. Yeah. Yeah, get it. Good job. You want the toy? You want the toy or you just want more food? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. We can go back into it. Water break first for me. All right, and then the final thing that we'll work on each week is going to be our cooperative care handling exercises. Now these exercises are very important for dogs of this age and really any age. But you're so lucky that you're going to be able to set him up for success from the start. So getting him prepared for future grooming, getting him prepared for future veterinary care. He's going to be the type of dog, the type of coat that has to go to the groomer every 6 to 8 weeks. Even if it means that you guys are grooming him yourself at home, set yourselves up for success of having a dog who's comfortable with this type of handling, with stationing and staying semi-still. So very, very important to practice this at this young stage. So for this, I'm gonna have food in one hand. He's gonna be focused on my food hand, and my other hand is gonna do the handling. So focused on food, one hand under the belly. Yes, good boy. This is just some light restraint. Yes, good boy. Yes, good job. Okay. A release cookie to give him a break from it. He's gonna choose to come back, engage in more of that handling. Good boy. Moving on to the tail. So lifting the tail, yes, that's practicing for future temperatures when he's at the vet. Yes, it's also gonna practice for future sanitary cleans back there. Watch those paws, mister. Yes, good boy. Okay. The hand under the belly, that was practicing the baby restraint for how they might hold him when he goes to the vet. So potentially hold him like that to get vaccines. Just gentle support, or when he goes to the groomer, gentle support to stand while they clip certain areas. Next thing I want to look at is going to be his ears. So he's focused on that food. Flip an ear back. Yes, good boy. And we'll do the other ear. Yes, good job. Continuing with our face, I'm going to come up towards his nose and lift the lip. Yes, good boy. So I do a few pets first on the head, gradually get closer down that muzzle, and then lift my lip. Yes, good boy. Yes, such a good boy. Okay. Good job, sir. So this week with all of our body handling, we're making it quick and easy for them. I'm not building too much duration, so I'm not holding on for an extended time. I'm not applying too much pressure. Now I want to touch his paws. Your big paws, buddy. Yes, good job. I'm starting up at the shoulders. I'm not just going to jump in and grab a paw. I want to start somewhere neutral, somewhere safe for them. Stand up, sir. And this is where that hand under the belly might help to encourage him back into that stand. Yes, good job. Okay, take a break. Paw handling, so many dogs don't like it. So we have to do this daily to make sure that the dogs are okay with future nail trims. Yes, in his case, future nail trims and paw shaving. Yes, good boy. Okay. And that's it for his week 1 recap.